Good morning. Buenos dias. Good morning to everyone. My name is Socorro Rodriguez.
It was on the table.
I have the privilege and honor of serving as the
Le
Education
pones un
Service Center Region
Okay.
19 Teacher of the Year Coordinator. Well, that's a long time. Buenos dias. Good morning to everyone. And I think it's, you know, in the fine print, it says other duties as assigned. But boss, I love it. Okay, I love it, I love it, I love it, because it's, I think in my own way, I'm able to give back to our educators, our amazing educators in our community through this wonderful event that is the Teacher of the Year through the Education Service Center. So I welcome you this morning. We are so excited to see our phenomenal teachers in this room. They are just the best. You know, when I do the orientation, I tell them that for the entire year, they are the superstars of our community and of their homes too, right? And so we kid about that because we tell them anything that you need, we are at your full disposition, and I'm not kidding. So just remember that. We are at, the entire toy team is at your full disposition for whatever you need. And so we are so happy that you are here, and I welcome you on behalf of the toy team, right? Because I have an amazing, great team that I get to work with every year. So I'd like to start off also by acknowledging our administrators, our school district administrators that are here this morning. If you could please stand up and be recognized for being here this morning. Thank you so much. Yes, I know we have a superintendent, assistant superintendent, and our PIO. So thank you for being here, and everyone else. And in just a little bit, we'll get to know our teachers a bit more. I tell you that I do get a preview of who these amazing individuals are because I am blessed to be able to read their applications. So I get to know them through the print, but today, like many of you, I'll get to know them face to face, right? Oh, he's the one that's, oh, she's the one that said this, right? So I'll make those connections today. So this morning, I have also the privilege of, well, before I do that, I'd like to share with you our agenda for today. So we will be, and there's some at the table. And so we are going to be receiving some special remarks from our Region 19 Education Service Center Executive Director, Dr. Aguirre, in a little bit. And then right after that, our title sponsor is here, and we're so excited because we know he's excited to be here. He loves this event very, very much. And that is Mr. Maxi Aronga, Raiz President and CEO. And then after that, then we'll get into the meet and greet of getting to know our teachers a bit more. Right after that, we will break for lunch. We have a delicious lunch prepared for everyone in this room. So please make sure, hopefully you can join us. And then after that, we'll take some photos. And then after that, we'll do some a small rehearsal for with our teachers, okay? That way you know what to anticipate come Saturday, okay? So everybody have their dresses and suits, everything ready for Saturday? Yes? Okay, great. So that's the agenda for today. So at this time, I have the privilege of presenting to you an exceptional leader whose advocacy and passion for education has transformed the educational landscape in our community. His commitment to professional development has been instrumental in elevating the skills and expertise of our teachers and creating innovative learning environments that empower our communities, learners, students. educators and administrators to thrive and to just be the very best that they can be. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our leader for the Education Service Center, Region 19, Executive Director, Dr. Armando Aguirre.
Good morning. It's great to see everyone. So I'll start off by saying congratulations to all of you for being part of this great event. I want to take a moment to first of all say thank you to Max Villalona and Raiz for Rise for helping us doing this. They're an annual partner. I like to call them partner, just because they put in their time and effort, and more importantly, the money needed for us to pull this off. So thank you so much for doing that for us. You know, when I think and look out, I believe there's 22 representatives. Did you know that we have over close to 12,000 teachers in the region? Think of that. It's 22 guys. Close to 12,000 teachers. You guys are it. So you're representing not just yourself, you're representing not only your district, your campus, you're representing 12,000 colleagues. And that's amazing. You guys should be really proud of the fact that you've been selected by your campus within your district to be here. And we've been fortunate in the last I don't know the date you think of it, brought that with you, right? But we've had state champions, state winners, state representatives. It was 3 years in the last 7 years. But if you think about it, there's 20 regions, and that's what you're going to go up against. So here we have 3 in the last 7. I think we've taken our lion's share, right? But that just speaks volumes of the quality of educators we have in our region. And you guys are now that group. You are the ones that are representing everyone else. The reason I say all that is because what sets you apart? What sets you apart is your inspiration. That here's what's interesting. When I hear about what you do, and I hear you guys speak, you all talk about the inspiration of others bringing to you. Others, you who have lived it, they've inspired you. But I want to make sure to point out that you all, the reason you were selected is because you have inspired those around you. You inspire your colleagues, your students, the community that you live in, the community that you work in, and they see you as a leader that you are. So know that you're already, as far as I'm concerned, you're already all winners. I know it sounds like a cliche, but the fact is that you're in a position to help us continue pushing the envelope of great education for our region. So please know that what you've accomplished doesn't go unnoticed, and it doesn't end here. It has to be an ongoing thing, and you're gonna have other colleagues in this position next year. If not, you should be the one pushing them to do it. You know who are the good ones. Let them know. Tell them you guys and nominate them. Let them know that we need great people such as yourselves in the positions that you're in to lead not only our community as a whole, but more importantly, the students that you deal with on a daily basis. So congratulations to all of you. Keep up the great work, and definitely the administrators that are here, thank you for taking time to be here. I'm sure some couldn't be here, I get it, but I'm sure that the districts who do have their teachers appreciate it. So again, congratulations to all of you, and let's enjoy. Oh, one last thing. This is the part where I shared with you, and you like I said, if you didn't mind. So I was speaking to one of our teachers of the year, and she mentioned to me, I asked, how's it going? She was, this whole team has made us feel so special. So I just want to take a moment, recognize the Education Service and Engineering Team Head Start staff that have been doing this. If you guys could please stand up for everything we've done. So guys, thank you for making it special for them and continue with that mindset. Have a great day and look forward. Congratulations and good luck to all.
Thank you so much. And so next, we will have some remarks from our partner. You know, there's many bank institutions in our community. And I'm probably going to be biased, but it's okay. Because this institution is, I believe, a family-oriented institution. I feel at home. As an educator, I feel at home whenever I visit this institution. And so this institution, who today we have the CEO and president, whom I shared with you earlier, loves this event because he loves to hear the stories of where your journey began as an educator or who inspired you. Everything that you will share with us today, he loves to hear that so very much. I know that because he's shared that with us. But this partner has been with us for such a long time, and they value education. They value our community's educators so very much so that, again, every year they continue to surprise us with not only the monetary support, but the support that we need in order to make this event a beautiful event for all of you in this room. We get to enjoy this event because of their contributions and their generosity. And it is a generosity that, again, is consistent every year. Before I call on them, they are calling me. And so I work very closely with Mr. Rodarte, who's also here. We work so closely, but again, that is how much they are invested in our community's education. Because before I call them, they call me. So please help me by receiving Mr. Max Villarronga, the CEO and President to Raiz Federal Credit Union.
Wow. Well, I didn't want to start out by saying a bad four-letter word, but I apologize. I have to say it. I want to make it clear we're not a bank. Okay, we're a credit union. We're a cooperative, financial cooperative, right? So we're a not-for-profit. A lot of people don't realize that we're a not-for-profit financial cooperative. We used to be Teachers Federal Credit Union. And we've been here for 87 years. We changed our name to Raiz because people thought you had to be a teacher to join, which hasn't been the case for close to 12 years now. We are now over 72,000 members across 50 states in the United States. And we're started right here in El Paso by a group of teachers. And we're helping people across the country. We have, and this is, I think, my first public announcement, but we are now over $1 billion in assets. It's one of the larger financial institutions in the country. So you should be very proud of what you've got right here. I want to start out by recognizing the Region 19 team. It's really a great example of a public-private partnership for good, right? So we all know that public entities don't always have a lot of funding. So we're happy to be a part of that mechanism and to be a long-term partner to create something like this. And why do we do this? Because we believe that by incenting this sort of award, it makes other teachers want to become the best teachers. teachers. So it creates a reinforcing feedback loop. That's positive. And we couldn't do it without Region 19. And of course, they need the funding and that support. So it's that public-private partnership is a beautiful thing. And to Socorro's point, when Abraham and I come here each year, it is one of very few events that just fills me up. It recharges my batteries to hear about your stories, how you ended up in your roles. So as I sit here and we support this, we're excited about that, but I'll tell you personally and selfishly, I love hearing how you came into your profession. Notice the word I used there, profession. Because you were building our most important asset in El Paso is the next generation. Many of which will end up being part of our team at Raiz in the future. So again, just want to say thank you. You can count on Raiz's support in the future and just try to enjoy this journey over the next few days. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Villalonga. And so the time has come. Teachers, are you ready? Yes? Are you ready? The moment is here. You're not ready? I said maybe. Butterflies in your tummy, it's okay. So let me share with you how we're going to do this. We're going to do this because I'm going to have here my colleague, Ms. Amaya, who's gonna help me. She's gonna be our Nana for today, for this morning. And so you notice we have two fish bowls at the table. And so we're also going to ask of our superintendents that are in the room or our assistant superintendents in the room to also help out in this part of the event, of the activity. So what we have to the far right of the table is all the names of the school districts and our charter school who is here participating. And then right here close to me, we have 22 questions. Okay, so when I call out the district, when I reach into the fishbowl and pull out the district, then both teachers, or if it's only one teacher, will come here to the podium. And if your assistant superintendent or your superintendent is here, they will come with you and they will actually get to ask you your questions. So see, you can feel at ease because it's your own administrator. It's superintendent and the assistant superintendent that's going to ask you the question, right? If they happen not to be here because we understand our superintendents have their agendas filled, right? Then Ms. Amaya and myself, we're gonna fill in, okay? And so, so then we're ready to start and I'm gonna walk over there and pull out the first school district.
On that table, but
I don't see those.
Okay.
oh, okay.
All right. So our first district by alphabetical order
Ian.
is Anthony IMT. So we have both our elementary and secondary teachers. And so they'll come up here and they'll introduce themselves and let you know if they are elementary or secondary and what school they are at. And then we'll start off with the questions. So come on over.
Good morning. My name is Soledad Plasencia and I'm the pre-K teacher at Anthony Elementary. Good morning. My name is Chanel Assad and I am the band director at Anthony Middle School and High School.
Can I take your shot?
Good morning. Okay, and I'm the superintendent, Oscar Troncoso. I am the superintendent of this wonderful district, and these wonderful teachers. So congratulations, Ms. Sada, Ms. Plasencia. Now, the question is, what advice would you share with people who are interested in becoming teachers?
Your old sister. They want, as a matter of fact, I've had several students who have inspired to be teachers. And the advice that I give is not to give up, that it will be a challenge that to feel it in their heart and to go for it. And the first year will be hard, but not to give up and with them. And that's my best that I've given them.
And for Ms. Sada, what is the best advice that you have been given about teaching?
There's a couple of things. One would be ask questions. Don't be afraid to, if you don't understand something, especially as a young teacher, ask questions and do what you can to get to where you need to be. In the band world, there are so many great band directors out there that I'm kind of used to doing it all by myself. And the more I've done this, I'm exhausted, but now I've been asking for a lot more help from other band directors that are just amazing and have so many skills that I didn't even think were possible. So I guess that's the one advice I've always been I've gotten is ask questions and be open to feedback and be open to other people observing and helping on your education culture.
Another round of applause for our Anthony Elementary and Cindy University. Next, we have Isleta Independent School District, our elementary and secondary teachers.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Joe Rivas. I'm a high school science teacher at Eastwood.
My name is Adrian Stevens from Sageland Micro Society Elementary in the Isleta Schools.
First question. What is your most memorable moment as a teacher?
My most memorable moment, I would have to say it was just recently, this past year. There's a grant that I was working on for a few years now, the Brigham Memorial Foundation. I don't know if you all are familiar with it. But in this grant, they award your campus a free pair of shoes for every single child on campus. And I know there was a few years, maybe 3-4 years, I didn't get it, but it was something that you know, I kept trying, and this past year we were able to get it. And it was like a $25,000 giveaway from the Brigham Foundation, and I knew it was something that was going to be awesome. But actually seeing it happen was something that was incredible. Our kids were so happy. Some of them wrote us letters and shared some of their stories. You know, how something as simple as a pair of shoes is something, you know, they don't get often. And there was kids that were very excited throughout the year. And every time I saw those shoes, it kind of brought me back to what we were able to do to them. So that was something that was very memorable and that I'll never forget.
So, question for you, who were some of your role models or mentors when you were starting your teaching career?
I would say one individual would be, who was actually my high school coach. I ran track for Hayes High School. Mike McLean, he is well known throughout the district and the city for being an amazing cross country coach. But when I first started working at Eastwood, he was just a great mentor, taught me a lot about what it takes to be a teacher, showed me how to tailor lessons, and just really taught me how to move forward. I really enjoyed this profession. And even to this day, now we work with each other, and he's right next to me. It changed. And you know, we still collaborate. And now he learns a lot from me as well. So now we need to get back to him in all the different techniques and skills that I've learned throughout the years. And so he's been the number one influence, my mentor, my brother, my father figure, I would say, to really big friend today. So it's great influence on me.
Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for representing this.
Thank you so much, Isleta, Independent School District. Next, we have Clint ISD. We have with us our Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Park.
Glasses. Who's the first question for? Introduce yourself.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? My name is Vanessa Gutierrez. I'm with Clint ISD, of course, and I'm at Surratt Elementary School. I teach first grade.
What keeps you motivated and enthusiastic about teaching, even on challenging days when you have 24 first graders in your classroom?
I do, and the funny thing is that Tasha's son is one of them. He's a sweet. So it does help. Leadership definitely plays a big role, starting from the top. We do have an educator at heart here. Ms. Parker herself was an award winner for being a principal. Awesome principal at one point. So that definitely helps. Now, I also am a big advocate that I do tell people, look, make the neighbor your mentor. And it sounds kind of abrasive, like make them your mentor. No, I mean, find those leaders even in your hallway. An administrator, someone at central office, there is always someone who's willing to guide you because they've been your shoes. So they inspire me. Besides the kids, I mean, they are so amazing. They're 6 and 7 years old, and they are a sponge. And they remind me when I was little, wanting to learn everything. So the kids inspire me. The leaders in our school inspire me all the way up to the top.
Right, Patrick, can you share any advice for new teachers who are just starting their careers?
So I actually was asked to be a mentor for a new teacher that started this year. And he is really nervous, and every day he comes to me and he's asking for help. And I'm kind of a new teacher myself, like it's just only 4th year, so I'm kind of like, I don't know, but I remember that first year. And what all I tell him every day is that first of all, it gets better. And second of all, you don't have to do every single thing. I told him yesterday, just create the intro and make my favorite. And I said also, just have fun with them. That's one thing that has got me through any of those difficult days. Anytime I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, is just enjoy the students and get to know them. And when you feel connected to them, every day feels like a wonderful day because you look forward to seeing that smile or that aha moment. And that's the best advice I can give any teacher, is that connecting with the students reminds you of why you have this passion to do what you're doing.
Congratulations to everyone.
Let's move it.
Thank you. Another one. Terry's. Educators. Next, Canudillo Independent School District, and we have our elementary and secondary teachers.
Good morning, everyone. I am Myla David, fourth grade teacher at Jose de Leon Elementary School, Canudillo Heights.
Good morning, everyone. I hope that everybody is doing well this morning. My name is Bruce Swan. I'm from Canudillo Independent School District. I've been teaching at Canudillo High School for the last 18 years. I'm teaching French 1, 2, 3, and AP.
What lessons did you learn your first year? I started early. I was 20 years old when I started teaching. And my first batch of students were sixth graders, so we only have an 8-year difference, if my math is correct. Yes, it's 8-year difference. And I used to teach 8 classes with 50 students. It was tough at first, but since the passion is there and the love for teaching is there and the love for calling is there, I was able to make that connection to my students. And I know at first we don't see that teaching, you won't see that rewards right away. But as I go on, I was able to see the goodness and the magic of able to inspire students and able to touch lives and make a difference. And we know that from our hearts that when we teach, we are able to make a big impact to the society, to our society. And that's what drives me to continue, even though it's challenging, having that 50 students times 8, and I have to grade papers over the weekend, but I find it rewarding. And just to add a little bit something when I say that it is rewarding, in 2017, my father had to be rushed to the hospital. I was out of the country. I rushed home, and one of his doctors was my former student. And she said, Mrs. David, it's not a good reunion for both of us, but I will make sure that I will take care of your father. It's not the same as what we have here in the United States, that, you know, the medical system is not the same. Bills were piling up. And on the day that we have to pay the bill, my former student did not ask any payment at all for her professional fee. And she came to me and said, Mrs. David, because I went to see her to thank her. And she said, Mrs. David, it's my only way to thank you because you were part of my success. I am not here because of you teachers that push me to do my best and to be a doctor right now. And that time I said, you know, it's very rewarding. You might not see it right now, but towards the end, we will. And it's not because that I didn't pay anything for my father, but that gave me more inspiration and to be, you know, able to continue even with those challenging times, even up to now. Thank you so much. Okay, next question. Can you recall a moment when you realized that your impact on students' lives extended beyond the classroom.
Thank you, ma'am. There's so many moments in education that make a great impact for a lifetime. Just like you guys, I can stand in here and go on and on about how many events, how many opportunities to see that happen in our educators' life. But because I have only one question, I would like to mention about one incident just happened not too long ago. Well, as you can see that I'm standing here in front of you and I'm wearing this with me. And this is a linear from Stanford School. I would like to mention about a young man by the name of Jean Martin, LJ Jean Martin. He's a football star player. He's the #1 Caniggia High School, Caniggia District, and Texas. He has been accepted to many schools, namely Texas Tech, and he turned it down. And then he went to Stanford, where he met the former state secretary, is Condoleezza Rice. He got accepted to Stanford. On the trip back, LJ come to me and said, Mr. Huang, I bought this linear for you, because you're one of the 3 teachers that wrote me a recommendation letter. And he said that, John, if I didn't write the letter, you still got accepted to school. But it is the honor is me, it's mine. You gave me the opportunity to be part of your life. Well, a few months after that, LJ called me and said, Mr. Huang, I'm not going to Stanford. The head coach resigned. Now I'm gonna go to BYU, Brigham University. So he was very depressed. Then I said, LJ, you do the best you can. Everything else is life. You took the class French 1, French 2, and French 3 with me, and you know the expression, c'est la vie. Spanish is la vida, es la vida. So remember, it's not how much that you achieve, it's how you bounce back when adversity is there. So you have to take it. Whatever God offer you, whatever life offer you, you take it and make it a life lesson for you and for me and for my students as well. And LJ said that, well, I'm going to be a BYU. I said, there you go. If you don't have the first choice, the second choice is what you are, and that's what you take it. And I always wear this because I think that this is a learning experience for me, for LJ, and for all my students. You do the best you can in any situation, and you're ready to tackle when life hits you hard. And that's a learning lesson. I could go on and talking about this, but every day there was a learning lesson for us to share with the kids. Some of them take it, bring it in with them. Some don't even care. Some don't like it, but that's what education is about. And I'm so glad today that I'm standing here. And the question gave me a great opportunity to talk about the LJ Martin, the one and only, the one who learns a lesson about life. And even though that he did his best, life is still there. Thank you so much.
Another round of applause. Next, we have our secondary teacher of the year from El Paso Leadership Academy.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. My name is Brenda Nigeri. I teach biology at El Paso Leadership Academy High School in our East Campus.
Good morning, everybody. Congratulations to all of you. Incredible accomplishment being the teacher of the year. You ready? Whatever.
When you think about your students, in what major ways do you most want to influence their lives?
Well, I think that myself, as a lot of you guys, we come from humble beginnings, right? And that's something that we always want to inspire in our students. If I was able to do it, if I accomplished, you can do it too. In EPLA, we have a very special community where we share our students' culture, our students' biculture, where they are not afraid of being half Mexican or half American. All the opposite, they are proud of having that Mexican heritage with them. And for those students that we have that they are not Mexican, they learn to be Mexican like us, and they are there speaking Spanish without the rest of our students. So every day, every school year, the first day, I always talk to my students. I tell them about my story, where my parents didn't speak in English. And at the end, I ended up speaking 3 languages. So I'm telling my students, if I was able to do it, you can do it too. Sometimes our students, they see us there in front of them. They are like, oh, the miss or the mister, they are driving a nice car. They have nice computers, but they don't know where we are coming from. And that's when I tell them, you can have those things too. But first, you need to know that education is going to be your most powerful tool.
Thank you so much. Next, we have our elementary and secondary teachers from Santa Blanca Independent School District.
My name is Kaylee Coleman. I am the agriculture science and FFA advisor at Sierra Blanca School.
Hello, I'm Jackie Becker, and I'm from Sierra Blanca, and I'm the elementary and a kindergarten teacher.
So I'm gonna start again. How do you hope to impact students and communities?
I hope to impact my community in Sierra Blanca by getting the parents involved. I love to invite the parents in and give presentations. So many of the parents have come in, and we've had men that have and women that have worked in the services, and they've talked to their grandchildren, their children, and told them the importance of representing our country and what all they've done. It's very, very fantastic, I think. Okay, we had one of our teachers, she's works in the office. She was a migrant, and she came from Del City, and she lived there, and she talked about growing up, being a migrant child and working in the fields, and she has impacted their lives so much by telling them her story and what she went through, and all these different stories the children learn. They can do all these things, by hearing their stories. And we've had Boy Scout leaders came and taught the children about serving their communities and, just doing good things for the community. We've had another, she was my assistant. She came and gave a speech to the children about when she was young in Cerro Blanca. They had separate schools, and she was in an all Spanish school. And how that impacted her life. And now, oh, she's just the most wonderful person there. She, when someone passes away, she finds, they all pitch in and, help the different families. She helps with everything there. She's so involved, and the children have learned by, what she talked about and when she visited our classrooms. And there was so many different occasions, so many different things with the parents. And I think this helps them to become better.
Are there any funny or heartwarming moments from your teaching career that stand out to you?
Honestly, there's too many. So like I said, I'm the FFA advisor, so I spend a lot of time with my kids outside of school, okay? We take trips to get livestock and go to major stock shows across Texas. So there's a lot of truck time, and a lot of travel time, and you can only imagine. And at a school as small as Sierra Blanca, I get to know my students probably too well, okay? So there's just so many, I know this past year I had a senior who he's been working on winning a showmanship buckle since I've known him, and he started as one of my freshmen, like my first class of freshmen when I started at Sierra Blanca. And he won the showmanship buckle this year at our county show, and he walked out of the ring and he was like, "Miss," I was like, "What?" And he was like, "I won it." And I was like, "You did." And he was like, he couldn't decide whether to cry or be excited. Or I was like, well, give me a hug. And he was like, I just can't believe I did it. And I was like, well, I believed you could. So like, I'm not sure where the separation is coming in, but he was like, I just worked so hard and it actually happened. And I was like, yeah, you know. But I think those are the moments that make teaching like absolutely worth it, like 100%. And my first year was during the COVID outbreak, so it was tough. There were a lot of times I wanted to tuck tail and absolutely run away. But those moments are what kept me. So.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Tornillo, elementary and secondary teachers.
Good morning, my name is Laura Roa and I'm a fourth grade teacher at Tornillo ISD.
Morning, my name is Adriana Gonzalez and I am a high school science teacher at Tornillo ISD.
That's a little bit of a hard question because as I was going through school, I never thought I would be a teacher. My degrees were in criminal justice and psychology. But throughout my senior year in college, I started reflecting on many aspects that I went through, single parent, knowing only Spanish, being a teenage mom. And all of a sudden I felt like I want to go into teaching. So it was my senior year that I decided to go into teaching. I was a fifth grade teacher, never has substituted in my life. So there I am in front of fifth graders, learning as I go. And one of the reasons why I continued in teaching that I love was my inspiration has been every single student I've had since that year. I think every year we get a batch of brand new students and you learn from them. You love them, you learn from them as they go, and every year is different. Including, it was funny, but I was my daughter's fourth grade teacher at some point. She'll be a senior this year. And she still tells me, Mom, you are one of the best teachers I've ever had. So to hear it from my own daughter means a lot. But I think my inspiration, of course, has been my colleagues that I learn every year from them. This is already my 22nd year teaching, and I still learn. And I say, I wish I knew that 20 years ago, so I could teach it this year, because you learn every year as you go. But my most inspiration is my students and even my ex-students, seeing them year after year, being in middle school now, being in high school, in college, keeps inspiring me to be here where I'm at. Thank you.
What do you hope your students remember most about you as a teacher?
Let's see, that's difficult. There's a lot of things, a lot of great things I'd love for them to remember about me, but I want them to think back and remember that somebody believed in them. I feel like we come from a very special community, Tornillo, where kids lack that sense of belief. They don't feel like they can do. They don't feel like they can achieve. And I and every other teacher around believes that they can do more and that they can achieve those goals that they really want and they feel like they can never get. I want them to know, and I want them to remember that I did believe in them, and therefore they need to believe in themselves, because I see that everywhere. They don't believe in themselves. They just don't, and that's what I want them to know. So I do believe. I do.
Thank you, Tony. Next, we move on to Socorro Independent School District, and we have our elementary and secondary teachers.
Morning, everybody. My name is Philip Chase. I teach at Staff Sergeant Manuel Arpuentes, 8th grade students.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Arlene Parada. I'm a proud kindergarten teacher at Juan Chavez Elementary. I just want to say what an honor it is to be in the same conversation as each of you. So the best of luck, and again, just honored to be here with you.
First of all, you all stole my answers. Take a breath. You're nervous talking in front of adults. Just gonna imagine you're my kids, so a lot of braces and acne. I like to look at the big picture. For me, I'm not teaching my kids science. To me, that's secondary. I'm teaching them how to be a good person. They don't know I'm doing this, but I'm trying to manipulate them into getting a good work ethic. And that's all I really care about is their effort. And so when I'm grading papers and I'm giving them praise, I'm praising their effort because I'm trying to see them grow. And I'm being optimistic about the type of people that they're gonna turn out to be as an adult. I have a saying that I tell the kids all the time in class. They think I'm being sarcastic because I say it sarcastically, but I'm really telling them the truth. They'll ask me silly questions. Mr. Chase, we have to do this. And I just say, this is America. You have the right, privilege, and freedom to do anything you want. Make any choice you want. But there are consequences for every choice. And I say that to them sarcastically, but I truly mean that to them. And so now by the end of the year, all I have to say is, this is America. And they automatically know what I'm trying to tell them. I want them to make the choice themselves. But sometimes it takes a full semester for me to see that growth in them. So I've learned to be patient with them. Because it takes a long time for these kids to start making the choices on their own. I don't wanna have to tell them everything that they need to do. I want them to think about it themselves, think about how that's gonna affect their future. And so at the end, the goal is don't think about bad consequences. Now I want you to make choices intentionally to get those good consequences. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's not about the content. It's about the growth and the people that they're gonna become.
Oh geez, I think that every day I go home and there's always a story to share. So I think that the most rewarding job of being a teacher is just knowing that you made every child that entered your classroom better. I know that having worked with kindergarten, it's knowing that they want to come back to your class every day. Knowing that you made the impact that they love school. You know, as a kindergarten teacher, we make a difference whether they wake up the next day and say, hey, I want to come back, or they're going to be fighting you to come through that door. So I think the most rewarding part is that knowing that you laid the foundation in their educational future, knowing that they want to be better, they want to continue their education, they want to grow. More than anything, that you made them have the passion for coming to school every day. And being able to go home and share those rewarding stories with your family, with your friends and their parents. You know, I tell their parents all the time, you're gonna learn, I'm gonna learn more about you than you probably care to know. But those kids, they come, they share with you, they make you part of their family, they make you you know, their second walk away from home. So definitely, you know, just building those relationships, telling those stories, making them feel comfortable, but making them love education.
Thank you so much. We move on to San Elizario Independent School District, our elementary and secondary students. We have to
Morning, my name is Diana Loya. I am a kinder dual teacher at Zambrano Elementary in San Elizario.
Morning, everyone. My name is Jessica Gonzalez. I am a high school teacher at San Elizario High School. I teach English and dual credit education.
Buenos días, good morning, everybody. They were hoping you all forgot the Sunday cards. What is the most surprising thing you've learned from your students?
Well, the most surprising things that I have learned from my students is that they come every day so excited to classroom. And when the school ends, they cry when I say bye in the bus and I put them in the bus. There's a lot of stories that I can share with you all. Like the teacher from kindergarten said, we are the foundations and we are there to inspire them how to love what is coming to school every day. And something that we need to impact in their lives is that we believe in them, but also we want them to grow not only academically, but also emotionally and socially. And there's a lot of memories that I can share, like during the pandemic. We were not able to do the end of year celebrations. So I went to San Elizario neighborhood and then I took my daughter with me, and it took us like 2.5 days going around La San Elizario INC to their houses. And when they saw me in their houses, like they couldn't believe it. I just brought a certificate and an air present to them. So those are memories that I believe the students, those are we will never forget those memories. And I could stay here for longer, saying a lot of stories to the students, but that would be, thank you so much.
Ms. Gonzalez, in your opinion, what is the hardest part about teaching? And what is the best part?
I teach seniors in high school, so to me, last year, the hardest part about teaching was saying goodbye to them. I was their sponsor as well for that school year, so seeing them walk across the stage and having them come and hug me like, Miss, I'm gonna miss you so much. That was the hardest thing I had to do yet as a teacher. Yes, there's lesson plans, there's trainings, day to day, we take a million decisions landing in our feet, but seeing them walk across that stage and saying goodbye to me was truly the hardest thing that I had ever done. The best thing will also be seeing them walk across that stage, just taking pride that my little babies that I had seen from their sophomore year walk across that stage was just so rewarding and a full circle for me to having come in during COVID, having met a lot of them through the computer, seeing their fans where they wouldn't show their faces, just seeing them accomplish so much made me feel like a good teacher. To them, I was the one person who cared, the one person who was there to provide for them. So to me, that was the best thing of being a teacher, just being able to be for them with the
Another round of applause for our student teachers. Next, we want to our Del City Independent School District, our secondary teacher.
I'm Michaela Van Dorst, I'm from Del City, and I taught all middle school math and science courses.
Question to you. Why did you choose teaching as a profession?
So originally, I kind of ran away from teaching. Starting at a very young age, third, fourth grade, I would in my free time go and read to kindergarten. And everyone would say, oh, Michaela, you're gonna be a teacher, you're gonna be a teacher. Being the person that I am, no, I'm not gonna do what you're saying. So all through high school, I spent my time looking at medical schools to be a doctor. My senior year came, and I had this teacher that I really admired. He said, are you running away from your calling? And I was like, oh, yeah. So in the last few months of my high school year, I switched completely. I switched colleges. I was looking at colleges I applied for and applied for the education program at the university that I attended, and realized, man, I am so glad that he called me out, because teaching is what I have done it since I was young, since I was 10 years old, and it's what I'm meant to do.
Thank you. Next, we move on to El Paso ISD, our elementary and secondary teachers.
Hello, Marcos Munoz. I teach mathematics at Jefferson High School.
I'm Diana Berder, Carlos Rivera Elementary, EPISD, and I teach kindergarten collaborative.
Good question. Oh, it's actually a hard question because it's not just one single person. And actually, I start every year by sharing with my students the story of how I became a teacher. I think it's important to hear that journey. you know, they walk into the classroom, they don't know who this person is in front of them or how they got there, so I'd like to share that with them. I think one of the first things that pushed me on this track was my high school math teacher, which kind of feels like a full circle moment, but what really stood out for me from my experience with him was just his dedication, his passion. I went to Valverde Early College High School, the second class there, so it's super small, just portables, dirt, no sidewalks, no canopy, nothing. And he was basically the only math teacher, which, I mean, for a school starting off, you know, it's kind of tough to have that charge, that responsibility, but he took it, you know, with grace, and he went above and beyond. He started 5 or 6 different clubs, he was running SHIP, UIL math, robotics, he was doing everything all by himself. And I don't know how he did it. We'd show up, you know, 8 a.m. He'd already been there for 2 hours. He'd be there till midnight some days. And just that dedication, not just to mathematics, which he was very passionate about, came through his teaching, but to education, to provide an opportunity. Because he knew that this new school, this really bright, precocious students, not having clubs, not having those opportunities to really stand out was going to impact them greatly. And so he took it upon himself to really make sure that we weren't lacking, we weren't wanting. And so that really stood out for me. But one of the things that he really pushed was this high school, this honor summer math in San Marcos, Texas. And he made a point to, I mean, no one from El Paso had ever gone, but he heard about it and he said, you know, we have to do this. And so he pushed and really he got us out there to go, and he made sure that it was paid for everything. And there we were, scared, and 4 or 5 of us in San Marcos, Texas for 6 weeks learning number theory. And it was actually at my time there that Dr. Max Warschauer, the director, kind of like tapped me on the shoulder. You know, he was sitting on these problem solving sessions where 4 or 5 of us would work on number theory problems for 4 straight hours. And for the most part, none of us knew what we were doing, but we were all in it together, and we all had to make sure that, like, if I understood something, I need you to understand it, because we all have to work together to solve these problems. And he was the one that kind of tapped me on the shoulder and said, you know what, you should come back next year as a counselor. I said, why, what's the point of that? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. But he saw something. He saw something in me that I hadn't seen yet. And so those two, I think, were the initial push, just that belief in, you know, that inspiration of a model what a good high school math teacher could look like, or just a great educator could look like, and that belief of like there's something in here that I haven't seen yet that I have to really listen to. And so that got me onto the path. And there's countless others after that, but I think those are the initial 3.
Wow, as a kindergarten teacher, those little faces coming in every day, the beginning of the year, crying, trying to run off from your class, and day by day, you see the tiniest little growth. Not only the academic growth, but I think the emotional growth. They become they're these little people, but they have feelings, they want love, they want you to, they want to be seen and heard. Especially, I came back to the district October 2020, shocked at what I saw. And they told me, you're not leaving us, right? That first day that I walked in, and I wanted to walk out. After teaching 13 years, coming back, they're taking 7 years off. And when I heard that, I was shocked that they told me, you're not leaving us, right? And I wanted to cry, and I said, that was the thing, I'm not gonna leave you guys. So day by day, that tiny little girls, these little tiny people, but they become so smart, they're emotional, you just feel so much love and well-being, and teaching them, you know, how to love each other, take care of each other, building this classroom family. And I see my fellow kinder teacher over there, and she's nodding because she really understands me. And I'm really proud to be up here. You know why? Because sometimes we see the kinder teachers like, oh, it's just kinder. They're just playing. Wow, like, and I've heard it many times. And I'm so blessed, honored, humble to all of you, because like you all inspire us. And I want you to know, like, kinder teachers, like, we really love this, guys. We're setting the foundation, as the other kinder teachers said, not only for learning of taking care of each other, being kind to each other. And these are our little people that are gonna become these CEOs and directors of Region 19, wonderful ladies over here, you know, so that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, EPIC. And finally, we have David's Independent School District. Teachers. And with us is the Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Gonzalez.
All right, good morning, everyone. I am Rosa Rodriguez. I am a 5th grade dual language, English language arts, reading, and social studies teacher, and I'm representing Fayetteville ISD.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Julieta Pañuelas. I am the science and engineering teacher at Fayetteville High School. I'm here representing Fayetteville High School.
Good morning, everyone. I have a question for Ms. Rosa Rodriguez. Can you share a specific moment or experience that reaffirms your decision to become a teacher?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that I admire all of you. Your stories have been really inspiring. So thank you so much for sharing those with us. I've been teaching, I just finished my 9th year teaching. So I started teaching at a 4th grade level. And I formed a very like family like bond with my students. And during that time, at the end of the year, I had told them, you guys are my first class and I love you guys, you know, I'm always gonna be there for you guys. I'm gonna follow you all the way through your school years. And I told them, you're gonna write a letter. This letter is gonna be a letter to yourself, and you're just gonna talk about what is it that you want to become in the future. What is it that you like right now? And I told them, and at the end, I'm gonna go to your graduation, and I will hand deliver these letters to you guys. And these are little 4th graders, and they're like, no, that's you're gonna forget. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna forget. You guys are my first class. You know, I love you guys, and I had the opportunity to do that. I'm my first class graduated, so I'm feeling a little bit older. Just to see their faces, I did keep up with them. I also coach at the middle school. I coach volleyball and I coach track as well. So I have seen them grow, and they've come and they've visited me throughout the years, you know, and I see them as my children. So I went to their senior breakfast because I knew that day of graduation was just going to be hectic, right? So I showed up, Ms. Manuela called me to deliver those letters to them, and just to see how much they've grown, how much they've accomplished, to see my little, sorry, I think I'm like twisting, to see my little 4th graders become young adults and have those aspirations to go to college, and just to know that I had something to do with that I had an impact in their decisions, it just filled my heart. And I told them, our journey does not end here. Like, I know you guys are graduating, but I love my students, and I just want to make sure that they know how much I care for them and how much they mean to me, and that they are my children. So I share with them all of my journey as well, because I was one of them. I grew up in Tornillo, so they have amazing teachers there. I went to Tornillo all the way to my high school year, and then I graduated from Clint. And I just told them, you know, if I could do it, I learned English at school as well. My dad, he knew English, but he never spoke English to us at home. Everything was in Spanish, and I learned it at school. I had amazing teachers. So I told them, if I could do it, you know, that they can too. I come from a small town, you know, that they can also become whatever it is that they want to become. And I was fortunate enough that my dad told me that I could become whatever I wanted as long as I loved it. You know, he's like, I don't care what you become, just as long as you love what you're doing, that's all I care about. Like, that you're happy where you're at. And I can gladly say that I am extremely happy where I'm at. I have amazing administration, and my colleagues, they're my family, they're my work family, and you know, we treat each other with so much love and respect. And sorry, I think that was the most memorable moment for me, is just seeing my fourth graders now into going off to college. You know, so thank you.
All right, last question, the best for last, right? So what influence did a teacher have on your life?
So if we're talking about just one teacher, that's gonna be really hard, right? Because we do have a lot of teachers that influence their lives. We've shared a lot of our stories here of different moments, and we all kind of go on and on about those memories. But I feel that if we're gonna start off, or if I'm gonna start off with one teacher, it would be my third grade teacher. So I started school here in the US in third grade. Her name is Miss Montes, and she actually I wanna say about 5 years ago, she passed away. But Miss Montes was known to be a really strict teacher, but she was also known to have the students that were non-English speaking students speak English by the end of that school year that she had them. So they placed me in her classroom. And the one thing that I can say that she gave to me and made me influenced me to become a teacher, is that she gave me that opportunity. And it was an equal opportunity. As an educators, we all know that they show us that little diagram of 3 kids looking over a fence, right? And what's fair in educating our students. And one kid has like a really small crate to be able to look over the fence. The other one has a little, like a regular size, and the other one has a little bit bigger crate. Well, I can tell you that sometimes she gave me 2 crates to be able to look over that fence. And she would keep me after school, and after school was supposed to be until 3:45. She would sometimes keep me until 5. And she would tell me, you're gonna learn English because you're here to learn English. And you're gonna have more opportunity if you know 2 languages. I remember she gave me a book, and it had a cover in the front, and it was 2 little boys in a park. Well, a little boy and a little girl in a park. And they were feeding popcorn to the pigeons. And she taped it. She didn't let me open it. And she says, once you can tell me every single thing on the cover of this book in English, we will open that book. And I learned it. Boy, girl, popcorn, grass, tree, pigeon, shoes, t-shirt. And I remember there was one word that was really hard for me, and it was paper bag. And that sounded German, even though I didn't speak German at the time, and I still don't. And every day, and she would come in and she would write that after we did the Pledge of Allegiance, after she started the class, she gave the kid, everybody else the assignment, and then she would pull me to the back of the classroom. And she would write the word on the board, and she'd tell me, what is this word? And I could not remember it. And I told her, I don't understand. I don't understand that the sound seems so alien. And she finally broke it down for me. She says, it's 2 words. Paper, papel, bag is bolsa. And I was like, oh, una bolsa de papel, right? But she gave me that opportunity. And by Christmas, I was reading, writing, and speaking English. And I feel that the moments that I remember in her class are the moments that I remember that I want my students to feel when they leave my classroom.
Thank you so much, Davis. Thank you so much, Ms. Amaya. Wow. I have several pieces of napkin over there, just nice and wet after listening to all your beautiful stories and everything you've shared with us today. That's why you are our champions of academia, because you are just super amazing, each and every one of you. And so we have ended right on time. And so we do have a little photo op that we want to take a picture with all of you outside. I know that we kept you from going in that direction, except leadership was walking right behind me. So, but maybe she forgot. Maybe she forgot what she saw out there. But we were just saving it because it's a special little something so that we can take pictures out there before we go to lunch. And so again, please help me everyone in giving our champions another round of applause for their story this morning. For allowing us, to listen to your stories is just amazing. So with that, I hope you're hungry, because I know some of you didn't even touch the breakfast we had laid out. You were probably a little bit nervous, so hopefully you are hungry, because we have a beautiful meal prepped for you. And so at this time, we're gonna go ahead and open the door so we can go and take our pictures, and you can take a look at what was keeping you on this other side and why we were not letting you go that way. Okay, so let's go take a picture out there. You can leave your things here, and then once we're ready to go to lunch, we'll go to the Skyview to have lunch. Yes, we can do group pictures and individual pictures as well. But we'll do first a group picture of them.
And I was telling Sandra that I like how that, for the joint board.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.